Hi folks, welcome to the latest episode of Getting Chatty with Mayor Diodati. It's been said, in life there are two things for certain, death and taxes. Well, budget season's over, we've already dealt with the latter, so today we're going to deal with the former, death, here in the Niagara Falls cemeteries. I'm with Mark Richardson, the man in charge of the 21 cemeteries in Niagara Falls. Mark, what can you tell me about the expansion and what's happening here at the cemeteries?
Great year for Lundy's Lane Cemetery. It's one of our most sought-after cemeteries in the city, but we've been sold out for some time. The city has now purchased the land to the north of the cemetery, originally owned by the Nagy family, and that's going to allow us to expand the cemetery by 1,400 plots.
That's fantastic, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited about that. Maybe they want to be with their family members, or maybe they've got reasons why they want to be at the Lundy's Lane Cemetery.
Absolutely. We have a waiting list of people that have been waiting, like I said, for years to get into Lundy's Lane Cemetery. The last time we had the opportunity to expand was back in, I believe, 2008. We took apart part of the parking lot for the old recreation building and had 288 plots, and that sold within 3 months. So we're quite excited to have this option available to the public.
People are really dying to get in here.
They certainly are.
Now, I notice there's some people doing some maintenance around some of the plots, and I noticed that there's people out there working. It was a brutal winter. I mean, did it have any effects here on the cemeteries?
Absolutely. It's going to take staff some time to clean up. There are a lot more branches down than usual. The gardens and the plants really took a beating. And of course, when our cemeterians were in here trying to open up a grave, it was much more difficult because we had an extreme freeze. So there was a thick layer of ice that they had to break through before getting into the earth. So it was very difficult for us. It's going to take us some time to clean up. We have a number of people that come into the cemetery and help us clean up. In fact, just this past week, we invited all members of the public to join us for a spring cleanup. We piggybacked that event with Recreation's event, and we invite people out to help us clean up their gardens. And this is a perfect example where the families come in, they've planted some flowers, and we've assisted them by adding some mulch and some fresh soil. Niagara Falls cemeteries have been recognized as some of the most beautiful in not just the region, but in southern Ontario.
Ash trees. We're having a problem having to remove them because of this terrible invasive beetle. Do you have any ash trees in the cemeteries?
We've actually been working with forestry to remove a number of ash. There aren't so many here at Lundy's Lane Cemetery, but at Fairview Cemetery we've already removed 9, and we've tried to stay ahead of the curve and have forestry come in as quickly as possible because we're one of the ash trees to fall on the monuments. It would do some damage.
Last question for you. How many people do you have working for you in cemeteries?
Well, I have over 30,000 under me and just under 20 working the seasonal maintenance and the working as cemeterians.
Well, folks, that wraps up another episode of Getting Chatty with Mayor Diodati. As you've heard today, plots will be available at both the Lundy's Lane and Fairview cemeteries by the end of the summer. Just be sure to call Cemetery Services for more information, and Mark will be standing by. Hey, what are you doing?
Just making sure your special plot is ready.
Oh, yeah, thanks a lot. Nice guy.